Hello Aquarius, welcome to your October 2016 Love and General Tarot card readings. Just a reminder, if you are on Instagram, I would love to interact with you there, Jane International, if you feel like it. And also, I hope to be setting up a Facebook soon. If I do it by the time I release these videos, I'll put the link below. If not, it will probably be next month. So anyway, Aquarius, let's focus on your love energies for the month of October. Oops. Okay, one more. Oh, you know what? I forgot to light that. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Strength in the center is a really great card to have, sort of encompassing you right now. I feel as though you are needing to tap into your inner strength now more than ever. Something certainly afflicting you. I feel that there is someone very specifically. When I pulled out this Knight of Wands, I didn't necessarily sense that it was you, but rather someone else, your partner, someone that you are dating, running kind of away from you. Maybe you feel like your significant other or someone that you're dating is trying to get away, or maybe they have too much of a free spirit, that maybe they are too independent, and I feel like there's maybe some confusion happening between the two of you and causing you some heartbreak, or again, that can really just be from more misunderstandings within a relationship or with a connection. Three of Wands reverse. I don't like this card in reverse because it makes me feel like you are waiting. And usually it's waiting for something that you just might not ever get. Energies and people that are the Knight of Wands, okay, they're very difficult to pin down. They're very difficult to get to commit. Again, if you're married, and this signifies your partner, sometimes it's just with a specific issue, or they just might be a little bit emotionally disconnected right now. And like I said, it feels like you're waiting, and it feels like you are longing for something. Usually there's a sense of longing here. And when you don't receive it, or when things aren't reciprocated, right? It causes disappointment. It causes heartbreak and sadness. Now, the strength in the center, though, it concerns me a little bit. And I'll tell you why. Because sometimes when we don't have our needs met, or when there's something that disappoints us or saddens us, we tend to project back onto ourselves, well, it's my issue, I need to deal with it, I cannot control that person, which is true, but sometimes those rationalizations can sort of lock you in and sort of make you feel trapped, and you're doing it more to yourself. So just a reminder for you that if you feel that you need something in a relationship, or if you are really trying to have something significant with someone of this nature who kind of is I describe this person as being very slippery, you know, very difficult to grab onto, in and out of your life, confusing messages, confusing texts, you know, and coming and going and pretending like nothing's wrong and all these things. But again, making you feel like, well, it's my problem. I shouldn't really expect them to do this. I shouldn't really, like, I get it. But don't find excuses and rationalizations for everything, because they sort of cloud your judgment, and they sort of, over time, they tend to make you see some falseness in yourself, right? Like you aren't being honest with yourself, and you start seeing yourself in a way that isn't real, and you tend to ignore and make justifications and rationalizations for behaviors that are out of your control, and you project them back onto yourself, and it can be a very difficult position to be in, especially when it is not true or it is not real. Now, because swords, after all, they are illusions, right? And I don't want to see you boxing yourself in, and sort of defining yourself in a way that is not an accurate portrayal of who you really are, just because someone's behavior is making you feel that way, you know? Like, I shouldn't have a problem with that he said he was going to come over and he didn't come over. Well, you should have a problem with it because he said he was going to, and you need a partner, and you deserve a partner that does what he says he's going to do. You know, this can be a little bit of a disrespectful energy as well at times. Very loyal, very kind, very good, but also disrespectful, because there is a selfish nature with all the knights, right? Especially the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. They are a little bit more, what's in it for me? Where can I go to have the most fun? Where's the most exciting place? And if you aren't the most exciting place, but they said they were going to come over, well, it's not as fun, so I'm going to go somewhere else. You know, that kind of thing. I'm being extreme and being a little bit silly with my examples, but hopefully it colors the picture a little bit better. So, you have the 3 swords in the corner here, and you kind of, the last sword card that I pulled was the 4 of Swords, which actually is a more positive portrayal of maybe some things that you're going through, which is to, I feel as though there will be, and I guess more, this is the advice more than anything, and I'm not really one to advise you, but I feel as though you are going to go through a phase of this, okay? This is going to be very quick. I don't think this is going to be like a whole long drawn out thing, but you're going to go through a period of this, and then you're going to go through a period of this, and what this is objective reflection. Removing your opinions of yourself, removing your ideas and your projections and your justifications and your rationalizations, and I think you're going to really see things for what they are. I feel like this is a reaction to this, but that you quickly realize that this is nonsense and ridiculous, and therefore you move into this, okay? And I don't know why I feel that flow, I just kind of do. So once you reach here, I think you'll really start to understand and really start to see that maybe there were some behaviors from your partner that were quite unfair. I don't really like there to be victims in these stories, but I kind of do feel like you are a little bit of a victim of someone else's behavior that is causing you to think something about yourself that is untrue. And even if it's very, very small, very, very minuscule, it creeps in. And the feelings that you get within your soul, right, when they treat you a certain way and it just doesn't sit easily with you, but that you write it off with an excuse, oh, well, it's my issue, like I shouldn't let it bother me, kind of thing. Very, very subtle. But those things creep in. Those things get bigger over time. And I feel like this is you kind of putting a mental stop to it very quickly. So you experience it, you rationalize it, and then you put a stop to it. And you start to realize the reality of what's happening here, okay? What's interesting is the coupling of the Two of Cups and the Seven of Cups right next to each other. The reason why that's interesting is, for me, it makes me feel like there's two completely opposite messages, okay? I feel like maybe this person, your partner, feels like everything is fine, everything is great, everything is dandy, and that, you know, that you two have a great connection and blah, 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 blah. But you're feeling like, what the heck is going on? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why you behave this way. I don't know why you say these things. And again, this is the selfish nature, perhaps, of this person. Albeit maybe temporary, okay, a temporary blindness to your needs. The strength in the center is really, it's really sitting thick, deeply with me, because it's, I feel as though you are trying to tap into this strength, tap into this inner willpower and desire to make it work with this person. But then I feel like this person really just doesn't care, you know, and there's mixed signals and mixed communications and, you know, all of these things, okay? But I don't think it's going to last forever. Like I said, it's going to be very quick. I think the movement from here to here to here, and the, you know, misinterpretation of what's happening here will quickly move into something else. The death. The death of the phase, the death of the period. So, and this may be a long time coming for some of you. It can indicate an ending of a relationship. I don't necessarily feel like this is the healthiest situation for you to be in. Any reading where I pick up that you might be putting yourself in a box is absolutely not a healthy reading, and not a healthy relationship, I mean. And I feel that that will come to a close, right? And that's, again, the swords here pointing down to the death. They're all kind of leading this direction. And they're leading to a death of something, whether it's a death of the behavior and a closure of the behavior and a closure of the confusion, or it could lead to a death of a relationship. If this really is not the one for you, not saying that's going to be the case for everybody, but some of you are in relationships with people that really aren't a good match. They really don't listen to your needs. They really... they're leaving you hanging all the time. If that's the case, I'm feeling like some of you are going to put a stop to it because you realize what it is. So let me go ahead and pull out the three remainders. Okay, Five of Cups reversed. It's a good thing. And it's kind of like you have, you know, the Two of Cups here, and then you have the Two of Cups here. And I feel like maybe there is an awakening for you. Connected with both of these, it does mean, right, like you are starting to maybe see the goodness in yourself. You're starting to see the goodness in your life. Maybe some of you are seeing the goodness in the relationship, you know. But it's interesting how I feel like this night very quickly becomes this night. I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, an advocate for playing games in relationships. I'm a firm believer in emotional maturity, proper communication, and, you know, not necessarily confrontation, but if there is an issue, to be able to discuss it in an open and judgment-free zone, okay? But sometimes the games kind of come in and they have a place, right? And I feel like this death, okay, or you putting your foot down, or you kind of saying this needs to stop, okay, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, I'm confused, I don't understand what's going on, quickly turns the Knight of Wands to the Knight of Cups. someone who is, and look at how similar these, I always can put these two together, right? The Strength and the Queen of Pentacles, just with the coloring and the color of their hair and, you know, the direction of their face. I feel like it's kind of the same. So this is definitely you in the reversal, feeling weakened, feeling maybe a little bit scared, because maybe some of you, you know, you're in a relationship and you're deciding it might not be healthy for you. So to go and to take that chance to be single again can be frustrating and can be hard. But for the sake of your own happiness, you know that maybe it's something that you can do. And I feel like with that threats, okay, again, I don't advocate playing games in relationships, but I feel like maybe there's going to be something where you pull away, or you say, you know, something really needs to stop. I'm not understanding what it is you're doing. I don't understand where this is going. Like, I'm feeling all over the place. My emotions are awry. I don't understand, right? And then they quickly they go from running away from you to running toward you. The rubber band effect. When one person pulls away, the other person comes bouncing back, right? I hate to say that, but it's a recognition of your own value. You know, when you put those justifications and those excuses, you surround yourself with these illusions of things that shouldn't bother you, you put yourself last. You put that person first. You defend that other person and their behavior, the behavior that bothers you, the behavior that breaks your heart, that makes you feel sad, that makes you feel unimportant. Why are you justifying that behavior? It doesn't make any sense. And I feel that you come to that realization quickly and you start putting that value back on yourself. And that transition of that value going back to you will truly make them see you differently. And I feel like they will be more willing to work with you, willing to listen. There is that element of good communication here. So I'm not going to say that they're not going to listen. I'm not going to say that they're just going to be like, all right, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, you know. They'll listen. They'll work with you. They see you as a beautiful person. They're just caught up in their little selfish world right now. Okay, a blip on the radar, a little phase, and don't, you know, here you are being a little bit scared, a little unstable, but sometimes that emotional vulnerability is necessary for things to come out, right? To be communicated, to be understood. So I'm going to leave you with that, Aquarius. Let's move on and do your general reading, which sometimes can tie into these energies as well. Give me just a minute to shuffle. Move these, you can see them. Okay. So, Chariot reverse in the center. I'm happy it's reversed. Sorry, I said to take a drink of water. I feel as though there is a coming together of your passion and your logic. And that's always a happy, momentous occasion when that happens, right? Because oftentimes our minds are this way and our hearts are this way. And it is so rare when they are in line. And I just said this in another reading, I don't remember which one, but it's almost like our hearts and our minds are operating at different wavelengths, right? But every once in a while, they'll kind of catch up. And they'll move at the same pace. And I kind of feel like maybe that's what's happening here. And that you're very clear and you're very distinct in what it is you're looking for and what it is you want. Granted, it doesn't come without its issues, right? This is in the same placement as the Seven of Cups in the last reading, same placement as the Two of Cups in the last reading. And we also have another major in the center, this time reversal. And death coming out again as well. Now, there is a contradiction here in terms of stability, right? I feel like getting to a point of instability is key for you finding reward, right? A key for you finding blessings, or, you know, becoming emotionally raw can be very, very difficult for a lot of people, and being entirely open. But once you open up, once you decide, okay, I need to be exposed, I need to discuss things, I need to tell people how I really feel, or I need to express a need, and sometimes it can be embarrassing, sometimes it can be frustrating, and sometimes it can cause us to go through periods and you know, phases of darkness, right? However, when we go through those bouts of emotional vulnerability, we become more emotionally mature. That's a growing pain, right? And to be coming out as the King of Pentacles, it's interesting you're coming out as the Pentacles. A lot of people have been coming out as these earth energies, which tells me that there's a real practicality to what they're doing. And they understand that, or they understand the purpose and the meaning behind their actions. It's not just willy-nilly, just do whatever you want whenever you want to do it. No, there's a reason for things. And even though those reasons are good, the path can be a challenge. But it is for the greater good after all. In order to achieve things, in order to have blessings enter into our lives, in order to be rewarded for our choices, we must make the choice, okay? Death, again, this time coming up in the first row. Closure. Something is coming to an end. I feel like this is something that you can feel, something that you can sense, right? It's more tangible than normal maybe, right? Because we have the elements of tangibility here. You, being the King of Pentacles, last time the Queen of Pentacles, very good and in a very clear mind in order to take the steps and do what needs to be done. I feel like some of you may be experiencing, you know, it's like there's something you need to do. And in order to do it, you know you're going to need to fight. Okay, now I'm not speaking in terms of the romance or the relationship. I'm speaking more in terms of maybe disappointing someone else, right? Maybe you have to disappoint your father or your mother or your significant other or a family member or a colleague or a boss, right? The list goes on and on. But you're very clear on what it is you want. You're very clear on what needs to be done. You know that in order to get this, you must expose yourself emotionally. And when you do that, I think you know that there's going to be a lot of people's opinions. Some of you may be choosing to make really big decisions in your life. Some of you may be deciding to quit a job and to go seek out a passion, go be a travel photographer, go be an Instagram fitness star or whatever. And people's opinions can be very, very strong. They can be very, very harsh, leaving you alone, solo, to defend yourself, to defend and protect your choices. This is very tiring and very stressful, but there's a bigger picture here for you. There's a greater good. And sometimes in order to achieve the greater good, you need to disappoint people. You need to let people down. You need to leave situations in which people rely upon you. But you are a king. You are a king of goodness, a king of fruit. I mean, he's covered in fruit, right? He brings with him success. And whichever path, and again, giving up things that are predictable paychecks, giving up, predictable family members, moving, if you're changing locations, selling your home and relocating can be very, very challenging. And I feel that there will be pushback from people in your life. But there is a significant message of moving on, moving away, right, with the Six of Swords. That these lessons that you've learned, this emotional vulnerability, the expression of saying, hey, you know what, I'm unhappy with my life and I really want to go do something else. But you take with you all of your lessons, right? Swords are they're very sticky. They come with you because they shape who you are, right? I feel like wands they're momentary. They exist just only in the moment and only in the phase, and then they disappear and you go and you have different wands and whatever. But swords, they acquire, right? They are the life experiences and the lessons and the understanding. They will always go with you. Once you experience something and once you learn something, you cannot unlearn it. And I feel that you're moving to someplace so much better, even though you may have some trials and tribulations in the short term. You're going into this like a warrior. You're closing something out. You're starting something new. You're reshaping your world. You are truly grasping the concept of creating and designing your life. As stressful as it may be, what about money? I don't have a reliable paycheck anymore. I don't know where I'm going to live. I'm just kind of picking up and leaving. I don't know. I'm getting divorced. I'm blah, blah, blah. And like the list could go on, right? And yet, it's something that must be done. This King of Pentacles wears his armor underneath his robes. He is a soldier at heart. He is someone that is not afraid to work hard, someone that's not afraid to get his hands dirty and like be in the trenches if he needs to, right? It's a true definition of a leader. I feel like the Pentacles and the Swords, they are ones to get down in the trenches and do whatever needs to be done in order to accomplish a goal. This is a really exciting reading for you. I feel like there's a lot of like self-empowerment here, which is great. I love when I have self-empowerment readings. Three of Wands again, and the World. I don't remember if I pulled that one out before. But again, silver lining. You're moving away from the sadness and moving away from the disappointment, and you're, in the same position, I think, because we have the Two of Cups here. You have a very positive outlook right now, and with everything that's going on, and you're looking at the opportunity and the possibility and the potential as opposed to the things that you are giving up. You may be picking up and leaving and moving on with less than you had, right? Because you originally had 5, now you have 2. You may be feeling a little bit of disappointment there. However, sometimes victories, it's very difficult to have victory without disappointment. Again, that Three of Wands, there's a longing, and I feel like that this is all coming from like not getting what you want, right? Like you've been waiting for things to come to you, and now you're like, no, I'm gonna just go make it. You're becoming a creator as opposed to a consumer. You are creating the outcome, creating the outlook of your life, as opposed to just waiting and seeing what's going to happen. Truly, truly, truly a very exciting time for you. Stressful? Yes. Frustrating? Yes, absolutely. Scary? Yes, absolutely. But just know that there are blessings and reward for those that create and that don't settle right? And so with this production, right, with this movement, you, I feel, will feel more complete, more whole, and more satisfied than you probably have in a very, very, very long time. So I am super stoked for you, Aquarius. This is probably the best reading I've done all month. So good luck to you. I'm seriously so excited for you. I'm going to leave you with that, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next month. Bye.